Hello friends, welcome to video lecture on engineering mechanics. In our today's session, we'll learn about the numericals on friction topic. So let us start with the problem on wedge. Okay. So to raise a heavy stone block weighing 2000 Newton, the arrangement stone is used. What horizontal force P is necessary to be applied to the wedge in order to raise the block? Mu equals to 0.25 given. Neglect the weight of wedges. So problem is given like this one. So two wedges with us here, wedges, or we can just say this is nothing but the block. So here another actually block is given or wedge is given. Let me first of all clear what is the meaning of wedge. Wedge is nothing but the small piece of the chip, or we can just say the lighter material that is used to lift the another material, or simply we can just say the heavy material is lifted by using the small piece of the material. Okay, this is known as wedge. So as far as concerned with the first step related with this one, first of all you have to draw the pivot diagram for the given system. So for that, just isolate this one, upper block and lower block in this way. First of all, draw the pivot diagram for this block. So here the stone whose weight with us 2000 Newton, just represent that weight by one force here, 2000 Newton. So tendency of this force to act on this block towards the left side means that automatically the resisting force or the frictional force comes from the this surface in opposite direction of the motion of the block. So you just see here, simultaneously you have to draw the diagram for both the blocks. Okay, so this force is applied on this block, so this indicates the frictional force. Okay, so this is nothing but the F1. So consider here the normal reaction between this surface and this one is nothing but the N1. So this is nothing but the frictional force whose magnitude with us F1 equals to mu into N1. So if you just focus on this block number B, so tendency of this block to move in upward direction. If this force is applied, the tendency of this block to move towards this direction. At the same time, this block will push this block in upward direction. Okay, means the frictional force will act in downward direction. Okay, so normal reaction between this surface and this one vertical surface we have considered as N2. Now with respect to this reaction, what we get here, F2 is nothing but the mu into N2. Now whatever the reaction of this surface, inclined surface shown here, and this one on each other is nothing but here N3. So N3 reaction we have considered between this block and this block. Okay, so N3 in shown here exact normal to this inclined surface, and here N3 we have shown exact normal to this surface. Okay, now in the next part, the tendency of this actually force to act towards the left side means here the frictional force comes in opposite direction of the motion of the block. So what's about the magnitude for this one? F3 equals to mu into N3. In this way you can get it here. Now what's about the component of this one? So component of this one we can get mu into N3 cos of 15, because this angle is given here 15 degree. So what's about the vertical component of the same? Mu into N3 into sine of 15. At the same time, this angle is given 15 degree, means automatically this angle opposite of this one you can get the 15 degree, and this angle is also 15 degree. So here we can get N3 cos of 15 component of this N3, and here we can get the N3 sine of 15. Now if you just focus here, the opposite of this one we can get here the same force, that is F3 mu into N3, because both the surface actually move in opposite direction. This force this actually block moves towards this direction, means this surface and this surface actually moves in opposite direction with each other. That's why F3 exact comes in opposite direction of this one, and the magnitude of this one is also remains same, mu into N3. Now Here this force indicate the inclined force. Now resolve this force, mu into n3 cos of 15 and mu into n3 sin of 15. In this way you have to resolve it. Now just consider this one, block B. Apply the conditions of equilibrium. For that, focus on the horizontal forces. Here is the horizontal force with us. Next horizontal force is here, okay, and one more force is here. Now apply the conditions of equilibrium to this one, wedge, this one, block B or wedge B. Focus only on the horizontal forces and equate with the 0 for the equilibrium. So for the horizontal forces, these are nothing but the three horizontal forces with us. Just write it here by considering their directions. Okay, so n3 running towards right direction, consider this force as positive. Then n3 sign of 15 running in opposite direction, you have to give the minus sign for this one. Then mu into n3 cos of 15, this force running towards again in opposite direction, you have to give the minus sign for the same. So we can get this relation in this way. Okay, so this equation with us in terms of n2 and as well as n3. Give equation number 1 for this. Now move towards the next one. Now focus on the vertical forces. This one vertically in the downward direction, this force also in vertical downward direction, this force vertically in the downward direction, this force n3 cos of 15 vertically in the upward direction. Okay, so we can get this equation in this way. So once we get this equation, solve this equation in equation number 1 and equation number 2 for n2 and n3. Now if you focus here, only n3 is sufficient for us to move towards the next one, because once we can get the n3 value, we can just get the value for P by considering the n2, n3, n3 and this one n1, etc. Only n3 is sufficient for us here. To solve this equation number 1 and equation number 2, n3 we can get in this way, 2576.6 Newton. No doubt if you calculate the value of n2, okay, so that is actually, we can just write it here, no problem. Then apply the conditions of equilibrium to block A. For that you need to consider the horizontal forces as well as vertical forces. First of all, just focus on the horizontal forces, okay, then get the relation here, equation in this way, summation of f of y. Just focus on the this one vertical forces only, this one n1 with us, then n3. Already n3 you can get from the previous relation, that's why you can just write this summation of f of y equation as first. As per our convenience, we can use this equation number as first equation. So here just focus on the vertically downward forces and upward forces, n1 with us, then n3 cos of 15 with us in the downward direction, this one with us mu into n3 cos of 15 vertically in the upward direction. Okay, so from this relation we can get the value for n1. Now focus on the next one, summation of f of x equals to 0. Okay, for that just focus only on the horizontal forces, this force with us, this force with us, then this force and this force, by considering their direction. Okay, just write that all the forces here, substitute the value of n1, n3, mu, etc. Okay, and solve this equation for the P. So we can get the P equals to 1869.6 Newton. So here is the next problem. Wedges A and B are held in equilibrium by application of horizontal force P as shown in this figure. Find the minimum force P required to do so. Take mu equals to 0.2 between the wedges, mu equals to 0.25 between the wedge B and the wall, and mu equals to 0.3 between the wedge A and the floor. So in this case, imagine the given system when P equals to 0. Okay, so let us assume that when actually the minimum value, what's about the minimum value for this P, can get as 0. Okay, so whenever the value for this one becomes 0, means the tendency of this block to move towards left side. This is the direction of impending motion. Okay, now first of all, draw the freeboard diagram for both the blocks here in this case. So if I draw the freeboard diagram for this one, the weight of this block with us 800 Newton, at the same time impending motion towards this direction, means here we can get the frictional force, that is 0.3 into n2. So actually original is nothing but the f2 equals to 0.3, means here mu into n2. So mu with us 0.3 between the lower surface and the surface of this block, 0.3 with us, so 0.3 into n2 will come here. So n2 is nothing but the reaction between this block and the lower surface. So what's about this one? This is nothing but the applied force. Now just focus on this block. The weight of this block acts in downward direction. The tendency of this block to move in the downward direction, because when the value for the applied force becomes minimum or 0, then the tendency of this block to move in downward direction by considering the downward direction. So what's about this one? This is nothing but the frictional force will comes in opposite direction of the motion of this block. Okay, so 0.25 into n1. The value for the mu between this surface and vertical surface is given as 0.25. So let us consider this is nothing but the normal reaction between this vertical surface and the surface of the block. Okay, so in this way you can get the value for f1. F1 equals to 0.25 into n1. So what's about the reaction between this surface and this one? If I separate both the surface, then we can get here as n3. Okay, so n3 towards this direction and n3 towards this direction. So reaction of this surface on this one and reaction of this surface on this one. Okay, now what's about this one? Whenever the block will start moves in downward direction, so this surface, the rubbing of this surface and this surface takes place. Means here we can get the frictional force in opposite direction of motion of this block. The block tendency of this block move in downward direction, means opposite direction. In the opposite direction we can get the frictional force. So whose magnitude with us 0.2 into n3. In the opposite direction of this one we can get the 1.2 into n3 force. Okay, with respect to this block. Okay, now our aim is to here resolve the forces. So here we can get here that 75-degree full angle with us. So this angle we can get the 75-degree. So resolve this n3 into its component. Here we can get the n3 cos of 75. Similarly here we can get the n3 sin of 75. Similarly here we can get the n3 cos of 75. Here we can get the n3 sin of 75. Similarly we have to just resolve this force. Okay, and resolve this force. So once the resolution of all the forces is worked, then apply the conditions of equilibrium to this block B as well as block A. Now once we apply the conditions of equilibrium to this block B, we can get this relation in this way: summation of f of x equal to 0. Now for that just focus only on the horizontal forces. Okay, so here n1 running towards the negative direction, that's why you have to give the minus sign for this n1. So here the minus n1 is written. The next one, see the direction of this one, 0.2 into n3 running towards this one left side. And what's about the component of this one? 0.2 n3 into cos of 75. Cos of 75 already written here, so you have to give the minus sign because actually running towards the negative side. And then you just see here this force. This force is nothing but the n3. So this is nothing but the cos component, this is nothing but the sin component. So n3 sin of 75. In this way we can get that force equate with the 0, and we can get the equation number 1 in this way. Now focus on the same block and apply the conditions of equilibrium with respect to vertical forces. Okay, now this is the vertical force with us. Next force is here, next force is here, next force is here. Collect all the forces and just prepare this equation in this way. Now this equation with us in terms of n1 n3, this also equation with us in terms of n1 and n3. Solve these two simultaneous equations and get the value for n1 as well as n3. So once we get the n1 n3, let us consider this one, block number A, and apply the conditions of equilibrium. So after solving you can get the n1 as 537.25 Newton, and here we can get n3 equals to 587.8 Newton. So applying conditions of equilibrium to this block A. For that you need to focus on the horizontal forces as well as on the vertical forces. So here is the this one vertical forces. This one vertical force with us, then this one vertical force with us, this one. Now as per our convenience, either use the vertical force equation first or this one. That doesn't matter. Okay, so minimum unknown or whatever the values with us, according to that use this equation. So here we can get the summation of f of y equals to 0 by applying the conditions of equilibrium to block A. So here in this case, we can get this relation in this way. Now if you focus here, the value for n3 already with us, substitute here and get the value for n2. Once we get the value for n2, again come back towards this page or the block A. Block A is here. Apply the conditions of equilibrium to this block A with respect to horizontal equation. Here P running towards right direction, consider this force as positive, then component of this one running also vertically, running towards the right direction, consider this one as positive, this one in negative direction, this one in positive direction. Okay, now in this way you can get that relation. Once we write this relation here, substitute the value of n2, then n3, etc., all these terms, okay, and just get the value for the P. So P we can get 217.6 Newton. Let us move to our next problem. A 12-meter ladder is resting against a vertical wall, making 30-degree angle with the wall. Static friction between the wall and the ladder is 0.3, and that between the ground and ladder is 0.25. A 600 Newton man ascends the ladder. How high will he be able to go before the ladder slips? Assume the weight of the ladder is to be 800 Newton. For that, this information with us. Okay, so here the question diagram as well as the answer diagram is given same. Let us imagine that first of all this one ladder is resting against the vertical wall. So man try to ascend here or just move on the ladder in this way, whose weight with us 600 Newton. Our aim is to find out the distance where the ladder slips. Okay, means whenever actually the slipping of this ladder takes place, the motion of this end B will take towards this direction, this will start moving in downward direction. Okay, now we'll just consider the reaction between this point B, and the horizontal floor surface is nothing but here n1, and between both the surfaces we can consider as n2. So already we have seen the tendency of this ladder to move towards this direction, means this is the direction of impending motion, and opposite of this one the frictional force comes into picture. Similar case with this one, the tendency of this ladder to this end to move in downward direction, means in the opposite direction of this one the frictional force comes into picture. That is nothing but the 0.3 into n2. Now my target is to get the value for x. So already we have seen in the very first topic to get the distance, and whenever this such type of force is available with us, this is the case of general force system. In case of general force system, whenever we want the value for the distance, then the moment equation comes into picture. By considering the equilibrium of this entire ladder system, you can apply the three conditions of equilibrium. First one, summation of f of x equal to 0. Next one, summation of f of y equals to 0, and a moment about any point, that is here in this case the B point is considered, okay, equated with the 0 for the equilibrium condition. Now just focus on this ladder, okay, and focus on the horizontal all the forces. So here the n2 running towards right direction and this force running in opposite direction. Okay, so in this way you can get the first relation, n2 minus 0.25 into n1 equals to 0. Now this is nothing but the equation number 1. Now focus on the next one, vertical forces. Here is the first vertical force, then next force is here, next force is here, next force is here. Now consider the direction, okay, and just prepare the equation in this way. Now in this case the value for coefficient of friction between the vertical surface and this one is given different. If you just see in the previous case the value for the mu with us as 0.25, and here in this case the value for the mu with us 0.3. okay, so once we write this equation, we have to solve both the equations, equation number 1 and equation number 2. What we get here, we can get the n1 and n2. Now get the value for this x. If I take the moment of all the forces about this point B, for that you need to take the moment of this 600 Newton force about this point B, then 800 Newton about this point B. For that you need these distances, this horizontal distances. Okay, from geometry just get this distances. So here the 30° with us means what's about this angle 60°. So this angle, this one 60° with us, according to that just get this one, this distance. Just first of all just get this distance, okay, this one. So at the center of this one 800 Newton force with us means automatically you can get this one as 6. Okay, so this angle with us and this 6 with us, 6 length with us. According to that first of all get this horizontal distance, this distance, etc. Okay, and take the moment of this force, this force, this force, this force about this point. Okay, so once we get the moment, you can get that equation in this way and solve this equation for the unknown x. Okay, so once we solve this one, we can get x equals to 5.23 meter. I hope that the problem on friction topic clear to you. Thank you.